Hi there, I'm Claire Ellis and I'm a physiotherapist and I work in the cardiorespiratory team in Rushcliffe.
Thank you. Hi, Claire. So we are talking about student placement today. Can you tell me a little bit about what you did for your last placement?
Yeah, so last winter we had two 4-week student placements. So that was the winter of 2020 and also a time when our particular department was quite short-staffed. So we'd already made an offer to take students, but we did have to kind of reconsider how we were going to do this. Could we do it? Could we give the students a good placement? And that was what we really wanted to be able to do. So the main things that we kind of started off with was talking to the School of Physiotherapy, who were really supportive actually, to let them know some of the ideas we'd got, and we planned as much as possible in advance, actually thinking about how we could do things slightly differently. So from our perspective, our service had completely changed from the time when we'd had students before. Because of the pandemic, our face-to-face classes had been suspended, and we'd developed a new virtual and home-based sort of response to pulmonary rehab. So students would normally be involved in delivering exercise and education classes with group work, but that wasn't possible. But what we did do was get them involved in our new way of working. They learned how to put on PPE from the boot of the car in the middle of December, which is, a learning point in itself. But there were lots of things that we could do, we found, to actually give them different experiences in this new landscape, I suppose.
That's fab. It sounds like a lovely kind of example of where you've really just been completely flexible and kind of fit everything around what the service and what the student needed at the time, which is wonderful to hear. Is there anything that you kind of wish you'd known beforehand, before kind of setting out and delivering the placement in that way?
Yeah, so I didn't actually mention that actually we were actually able to gain a laptop, which was the first time ever for a student. And I have to say, I don't think our placement could have continued without that.
Yeah.
So that was absolutely excellent. What wasn't so great for us at that time was it took us quite a while to get a smart card for the student who hadn't had one before, and so there was quite a delay in that. But it's good to see. I see recently this process has been made much smoother, and there's a now really nice, clearly defined pathway.
If you had one kind of top tip or piece of advice for anyone who was thinking of delivering a placement in a similar way, have you got anything to add at all?
Yeah, I think try not to compare your new offer negatively with your previous one, because we're all in this new landscape and there are lots of different opportunities. So think differently, think creatively, and have a go, see what works, and then share what works with the rest of us for the future. Yeah.
I love it. That's a great top tip. Brilliant. Actually got a little bit of feedback from your student as well here. And I think some of the really kind of positive things that they found were having that opportunity to spend kind of time with other healthcare professionals, really kind of enabled them to think more holistically. So although it might have been a little bit of a downside that they maybe didn't get as much kind of clinical contact as a physio, they were really able to kind of draw on the MDT experience to kind of enhance their learning. So it sounds as though it was a really, really positive experience for them.
That's great. Yes, and the student was great, and that always helps too. She was really engaged, and it was her first community placement since COVID. So we were both learning together, I think, and I think there was a really good understanding. We were very honest about what we were able to do, and we just tried to work together really to make it as good as experience as possible. Yeah.
Fab. Thank you so much. That's really, really helpful, Claire. Thank you.
You're welcome.